Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Chometz Chaim in the Sefer HaMitzvos HaKatzar. As we mentioned yesterday, the great Hashgacha Pratis, that it's 30 days less even before Pesach, and here we have some of the halachas of Pesach itself. The third mitzvahs, Lo Yisaseh, the negative commandment, mitzvahs Lo Yisaseh, Shelo Yimatzeh Chometz B'Reshus Yisrael. There is a negative commandment that a person should not find any chametz in the possession of a Jew. Yesterday's Isser was Lo Yira'eh, you're not allowed to see any chametz in your house. Now there's a prohibition of not finding any chametz. Shenemar, like it says, Shivas Yomim Se'or Lo Yimatzeh B'Batechem, for 7 days, for the entirety of the festival of Pesach, you are not allowed to find any se'or, any chametz, anything leavened in one's house. Chametz is the base of a Pesach, and if somebody ends up leaving chametz, leavened products in their house on Pesach, for example, let's say a person let his dough rise, and it ended up becoming chametz over Pesach, and he left it in his house. Or he bought chametz, and he tucked it away, he put it away knowingly, to hide it, so that people shouldn't see that he has chametz lying around. Leikish time, he's going to receive 2 sets of lashes over here for 2 prohibitions. Because he did the action of either creating the chametz or bringing the chametz into his house. However, if a person brought chametz into his house before Pesach began, and he didn't get rid of it, he transgresses the 2 prohibitions that we mentioned before. One is Bal Yira'eh, you're not allowed to see the chametz. And the second one that we're describing right now, Bal Yimatzeh, you're not allowed to find any of the chametz. However, says the Chometz Chaim, that Aval Eino Leiki, he's not going to get malchus, he's not going to get lashes, he didn't do an action on Pesach, meaning he had the chametz in his house from before Pesach. He left it there. He's not supposed to, but he did. He left it there. Says the Chometz Chaim, since you did not actively do an action, a maisa on Pesach itself of bringing the chametz into your house, therefore you transgress, but you're not going to get the lashes as a result of it. Chametz shel akum hanimsa b'reshus Yisrael. If a non-Jew left his chametz in the house of a Jew, now this could be very common. Person, let's say they have a cleaning lady that comes to the house, or they have workmen that are in the house, and they end up leaving their chametz. She leaves her tacos behind over there. If the Jew accepted upon himself achrayis, his responsibility for the chametz of the non-Jew, then chayav leva'aro, he's obligated to get rid of it before Pesach. If he never told this cleaning lady, I'll watch over your tacos for you, then leka isor lahashais, there's really no prohibition for this chametz of the non-Jew to remain in the possession in the house of the, it's not in the possession, to remain in the property of the Jew. Because it says, v'lo yira'eh lecha, cannot see your chametz. Shelcha yatara, you can't see your chametz, aval atara shel acherim, but you're allowed to see the chametz of others, of the non-Jews. However, let's say that the non-Jew would be able to sue the Jew for his loss of chametz, even if the Jew did not accept responsibility upon himself for the non-Jews chametz, then you have an obligation to remove it from your house. So if it's just lying there in your house and it belonged to the maid, and Pesach comes, and you never accept the responsibility to guard it or to watch it, so then you're fine. It's not your chametz. You didn't transgress anything. But if the non-Jew could always bring you to their court and say, hey, this my owner, my master over here, didn't watch over my tacos the way that he should have, or my tortillas that are made out of flour, and I could be fined in the court of their courts, so then I'm responsible for it and I have to get rid of it. Chametz shavar lava Pesach, if you have chametz that was in your house over the holiday of Pesach, which means you transgressed the laws of not seeing and not finding chametz, asabana that chametz that is left over even after Pesach, you're not allowed to get any pleasure from, midibei seifrim. On a rabbinical level, mishum kanas, they say it's a kanas, it is like a fine that they are attributing to the owner of that because he was not careful with the halacha. Mishum sha'avar al lo yirai v'lo yimatze, because he transgressed, not seeing and not finding any chametz, v'afilu shacham b'shog, even if you forgot about the chametz inadvertently, you weren't aware of it, nevertheless you find it after Pesach, asruhu, they still said you weren't careful enough before Pesach to find it, so therefore we're being kindness, we're finding you that you're not going to be allowed to have it. And this is something that we keep everywhere all the time. Whether men or women are obligated to keep the mitzvah of not seeing and not finding the chometz around, and if in fact they were careless and the chometz stayed around in their house, they are both fined that they're not allowed to get any benefit from this chometz forever and ever. Have a wonderful day.